So Stockland is a business we actually wrote up last month. It's essentially a business of two parts, or a stapled security. One half of the business, or approximately 2/3 of their earnings, has been coming from a REIT, and that it consists of three different parts of that REIT. So there's an office component, there's a logistics component, and there's a retail component, which is basically essential service types of malls. And then the second part of that business is a development part of that business, and that's predominantly Stockland building master plan communities and land lease communities. So Stockland has a land bank of about 80,000 lots, as well as a number of land lease communities on top of that within that business. Yeah, so the insight on Stockland that we referred to as part of the article that I'll talk about now is within that land bank, or that development part of the business, Stockland has actually recorded all that land at cost. So if you think of a normal REIT, every reporting period, you basically mark to market the value of the REIT based on cap rates. So a normal REIT will have a live valuation for almost all of their business. The issue with Stockland is you've got that land value recorded at cost, which represents about $3 billion worth of historical cost. Now, if you think about what land values have actually done since they've acquired that land, as a reminder that the land bank on average has an average age of about 10 years, land values have increased dramatically in Australia in that time. So if we look at New South Wales, where approximately a third of the land is located, land values are up about 200%. If we look at Victoria, which is another third of the land bank, land values are up about 150% in that time. So our argument has been that the land value sitting within Stockland's NTA is dramatically undervalued. And the work that we did suggested that when you look at the whole portfolio of their land bank, we think the valuation uplift could be close to $2 billion. Yeah, so if we think about what that land bank uplift can actually mean, that's the first part of the uplift to our valuation of Stockland. So Stockland's NTA as a headline is about $4.30. If you add on that extra uplift from that land bank mark to market, we get to a valuation of close to $5. Now, if you look at Stockland's peers within the property space, or the REITs that we also look at, they're trading at about a 20% discount to their NTA. So if you look at what our adjusted mark to market NTA is for Stockland, you put on a 20% discount to that, you get closer to $4 per share, and it's currently trading in the low to mid threes. Now, there's another component on top of that which most of the REITs don't actually have exposure to, and that's the development earnings. So when you isolate how much that land uplift is actually worth, and then how much benefit they also should be getting from their development side of the business, we can also see a capitalisation of at least another $1 worth of value for that development stream should be able to generate for Stockland through the cycle. So arguably, our NAV for Stockland gets closer to $6. Yeah, I think the market at the moment is probably getting concerned just around the property cycle at the moment. Now, everyone knows the interest rates are going up. Everyone knows that there's a slowdown in property, and I think that's fair to have those concerns. But when we think about the overall valuation of Stockland that we referred to earlier, we're already seeing that discount kind of evident in the REITs. And for Stockland to be trading at a discount to the REIT space on an NTA basis, it's effectively not counting any value for the development part of the business anyway. So the market's basically giving that a zero. So we think that there has been some weather challenges, and Mirvac, who reported their result recently for the quarter, have shown that that's a bit of an issue in the near term. But over the cycle, Stockland on average does about 6,000 settlements per annum. So we're seeing that in the near term probably closer to 4,000, and inquiries have probably been even under that. So there is that kind of near-term headwind from an earnings perspective for their developments. But over the long term, over the cycle, we think it's pretty strong value here and almost an asymmetric valuation opportunity.